Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is CameronWcool, and today I'm going to be bringing you a Five Nights at Freddy's 1 through 3 theory that I've created on my own. As far as I can tell, on the internet, I am the only person who have come up with this, so any other people who claim to have come up with it, it's purely coincidental. Don't take it as a personal attack or plagiarizing or anything. It's an honest mistake, and I did not find it anywhere on the internet. The theory is that the purple man is actually innocent. Now, this theory actually stems from the idea that there are two different purple guys, the smiley one and the security guard one. We're going to call the security guard one purple and the smiley one pink, just so we can easily identify who is who. Now, the main reason that I've come up with this theory is because we never actually see purple, the security guard, actually committing a murder or actually being on the scene while the children are murdered. Whereas with pink, if you go back to the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 minigame, where you are in the Fredbear's Family Diner, it's presumed to be that, the one small building, give cake to the children minigame, you see pink actually roll up in a car and murder a child outside. Then when the one minigame where you're Foxy and you're running to the children, you see pink is outside of the room when all the children are found dead. Likewise, you might say, well, what about that one time when you have to follow the puppet in one of the mini games in the second game? Well, I have come up with a reason for this. Rarely in that minigame, you can sometimes run into the purple guy, and you might think, well, it seems pretty incriminating that he's in the building while there's blood stains everywhere and dead children lying about. But if you recall back to the first game, first phone call that's ever made, the phone guy actually mentions that
Fazbear Entertainment is not responsible for damage to property or person. Upon discovering that damage or death has occurred, a missing person report will be filed within 90 days or as soon as property and premises have been thoroughly cleaned and bleached and the carpets have been replaced. Blah, blah, blah.
Now, he says that if there are ever missing persons or an incident to occur, such as a crime or a murder, that the people who work there are, by law, actually supposed to clean all the premises, replace the carpets, bleach all the blood stains, if there are any, move the bodies, etc., etc., and clear the crime scene before anybody is told about it. And if you look at what's happening in that minigame, it actually appears to me, personally, that he is actually in the crime scene after hours cleaning up the mess that happened. Not that he did it, just the fact that he is there cleaning up the mess like the policy tells him that he has to do. And when Freddy walks around the corner, seeing this murder scene and there's blood everywhere, he goes to turn off Freddy because, of course, personally, if I had to do that, I would not be letting these animatronics wander around. I'd turn them off so that they don't get all messy. The message that says you can't. The message that says you cannot save them down in the corner when the purple guy actually hits Freddy. It's because the children are already dead. There is no way to save someone who's already been killed. It's over for them. So no, Freddy cannot save them while they are already dead. Another piece of evidence that I've come up with is that the reason the animatronics might think that purple and pink are the same person is because, yes, while they do look different, they do look similar in color and that. So maybe it's supposed to be that they are actually similar looking people, but they're not the same person, which could mean that the animatronics are mistaking them for the other. Now, I don't know if it's true that there is facial recognition software in these robots, but if there is, facial recognition software was not good in 1987. It's not really that good in 1993 either. The dates that these games happened. So it's very likely that if at all there is facial recognition software, it's not advanced enough to actually tell between a couple of people who look similar, especially not in different lightings and that. If it's not facial recognition software, the children's spirits could also be mistaking them for the same person. Now, one thing that really got me thinking about all of this is the ending of Five Nights 3. Now, before I go ahead with this, spoiler alert, obviously, but at the end of Five Nights 3, you see the purple guy, not pink, purple, goes into the animatronic suit that is Springtrap and is killed by the children's spirits when they chase him into the room. And before that happens, you actually see the purple guy dismantling all of the robots after leading them along with Purple Freddy. Now, what I don't understand, and maybe you guys can help me out with this and leave in the comments or something and tell me if there's something I missed, is that I don't know why the Purple Freddy is there, but the reason why Purple Guy might be dismantling all of the robots is because maybe his boss told him to take them apart and store them away somewhere. It could easily just be that. But because of the Shadow Freddy and the way that everything happens, you're seeing it through the eyes of the animatronics, which could easily mean that they're seeing Purple as the bad guy and attacking them, when really he's just doing his job. And I still can't come up with a reason why Purple Freddy is there, though. That's the one thing I don't understand. And maybe you guys can help me out with that. That's the one plot hole I can not fill for some reason. But regardless, Purple ends up being the one that is trapped in the room with the children's spirits. Now, I would like to ask you, if you were trapped in an abandoned building, in a back room, where nobody's allowed to go in, by a bunch of ghost children, would you not be terrified out of your wits like he was? Because if you ask me, if you look at him, he looks pretty terrified. And rightfully so. Most people would act that way if children's spirits were attacking them. And of course, this man, Purple Man, actually does jump into the suit and unfortunately kills himself. Now, the two endings that happen with Five Nights at Freddy's 3, the good ending and bad ending, good ending is so called. The good ending, and you see this throughout the minigames that you play throughout the day, the 5-6 days, where each minigame ends up giving the children a piece of cake, and that cake makes them happy. And then their child spirit is free, and it can move on. It's accepted its fate. Until all of them have done it, and they all leave. Whereas if you see the bad ending, which is the normal ending and most people got, if not everybody, the children's spirits are still trapped. Now, the reason I think that this is probably the real ending is because the purple guy is not the one who killed them, so that would mean that their children's spirits are not avenged at the time, and they would still be trapped in their bodies, or should I say the animatronics. That is my reasoning for thinking that they might have gotten the wrong guy. The last piece of evidence that I have that I think puts a nail in the coffin is the little newspapers that you can find in the first game on the walls. They really are what started the uncovering of this story that we have. And what I found on one of those, now what I found on those newspapers is that they say somebody was convicted for the murders, which means somebody was tried and went to jail for these murders of all the children. And what that tells me is that somebody, probably Pink, was taken to jail, convicted for the murders, and now he is serving time. And he's not going to be out for a very long time. So regardless of whenever Springtrap happens, Pink may have been in jail, if it's in the future or the past. Either way, we don't see Pink outside of those two minigames. How could someone who was convicted for murders and put into jail be someone back at the place and getting trapped inside of Springtrap? With Purple, he would not be in jail because he is not Pink. So that would conclusively leave me to think that we have probably got the wrong guy inside of Springtrap. And maybe his acting out now is him trying to get revenge for what happened, and him being wrongfully accused of this murder. Anyway, guys, that's just my theory on Five Nights at Freddy's 1 through 3. I feel like this may actually be true, personally, and I strongly believe in this. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Oh, and before I go check out my artist's Deviantart page thing. I don't know what they call it on there, but anyway, she's got a Deviantart. She's wonderful at what she does. She's really good at everything. It'll be down in the description, and I'll probably put an annotation on the video. Anyway, guys, goodbye.